Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to explore a little bit the vegan lifestyle from a perspective of from the heart. What exactly it brings? That it brings, like what benefits does it bring? More from the heart perspective, from alignment perspective, from kindness, compassion perspective, which is a very important topic, I believe. So the vegan lifestyle is not, so it's not about sacrificing anything or restriction. One can think that it might be the case because it's like one can be maybe afraid, oh, if I'm vegan, then I cannot do that. But it's all the contrary. It's first, it's not restrictive. It's just it avoids all violence as much as possible. It expands our kindness, our compassion. It makes us aligned to align our heart with our aspirations, with our ethics, with our values. So it brings harmony in our life, and yeah, it's there isn't really any restriction except the one restriction is not to be unkind. That's the only restriction, not to be unkind to any living being. I hope that restrictions is not too bad, and it's fairly logical, and it's maybe how we should live our life in the first place. In any case, and yeah, it is avoiding things that we should have avoided a long time ago. So it's like not considering living beings as object for our own use, to use as we so please. So when we start to treat all living beings as inherently worthy on their own, so that they do not need to bring us anything, that's like true kindness, true compassion, and not considering animals as food mainly, not only, but maybe mainly, because that's what when we think about the vegan lifestyle, that's what pops up in the mind in the first place, probably. It is just replacing one thing by another, replacing animal products with plant-based products. That's all, and that tastes much better, much kinder. That tastes kinder. That tastes more compassionate. So yes, kindness and compassion do have a taste. Our mind knows that. Our hearts knows that. That yeah, animals are not products. No, no different than humans. Humans are also not products or not food. So yes, so that is basically what the vegan lifestyle is about. It's about alignment, bringing everything into harmony, And then if we do that, then something beautiful happens within us. It brings a great, profound gift, that of inner peace. Something that we cannot really bring that easily. But doing what is right, what is kind, what is compassionate, it's not just about, just not just a word, just not just like being vegan in order to be vegan. It's not. One doesn't try to be different. One tries to do what is right. As much as possible. And yeah, then our heart is much lighter because we're not unburdened. We're not burdened by conflicts, by inner conflicts, hidden conflicts, and that means that there's a deep meaning that colors every moment of our life. So when kindness becomes the compass that guides us, that guides our choices, then of course joy naturally follows. How could it not be? When we are kind to all living beings, then we ourselves are feel satisfied, really satisfied. And it's not a fleeting like moment of momentary pleasure, but it's really something that is very steady, that is like always, all the time. The knowledge that we are doing what is kind, what is compassionate, that has absolutely that is like infinite value. That is infinite happiness, basically. In a way, that's what all the spiritual practices and religions try, at least, to teach us. That's one of the main point of all the religions and spiritual practices. When we read all the scriptures, what do they say? Just they give like hundreds of stories, thousands of stories. And what are those stories for? They are just to kindle something in us, something, the kindness, to be kind to our neighbors. The neighbors is not only humans, it's all living beings. Seeing neighbors only as humans is very limited way of seeing. We should modify this view by neighbors being all living beings, and all the animals, people are included, from insects to to the biggest species, and also to nature, of course. As much as possible, we also protect and nature, like trees, even plants. Also, of course, we protect them. We don't deforest. We let the flowers be. We don't cut them. Maybe we let the grass grow wild instead of cutting it all the time. And yeah, we let every being be happy. That's why the vegan lifestyle is a path of the heart. And yeah, can there be anything greater in this world than that, than being kind? You tell me. Can there be anything greater than that? In the whole world, in the whole philosophies, anything more important than being compassionate, kind to all beings, to everyone, to everything, to to minimize all the human traits of anger, envy, jealousy, hatred, between all beings, be it humans with humans or humans with animals. It's not just about relation between humans and animals. When we are vegan, from the heart, it expands to all beings, included humans, of course. Humans are also a species of animal, so we should not draw a line between humans and the animals, like we are here and they are there. No, that is very limited view. Um, we should view all beings as one. So it's like be good, do good, be one. That's all the and if we learn this lesson, then we've learned the lesson. We can move on to something maybe more, something else. When we go to learn in school, then we learn some subjects, and then once we graduate, we can move on to something else. Maybe then we can try to to learn different things, but at least this we've learned. So whatever we learned in primary school, secondary school, then once we graduate, we know. We know how much 1 plus 1 is equal to. And yeah, we've learned it, and that's it. But until we've learned it, then we need to repeat it over and over until that is clear. So when we become kind and compassionate to all beings, as much as possible, it may not cannot be 100% all the time, but we do our best, and we see that all beings are one, and we consider all beings as our brothers and sisters, not only humans. Then we have graduated. So the vegan lifestyle is like a graduation ceremony, especially once one understands the ethics of it. Then that's the summum of paths, one could say, a supreme path to peace, all over the world, and also with ourselves, with our own heart, own own aspirations. So yeah, so happiness must begin with compassion. It can only be true happiness when we stop causing harm. It is a kind of revelation, maybe, that can change everything. So the peace that comes to us when no one suffers for our pleasure, no life is taken for our habits, no cries are ignored in the name of our comfort. This is what the vegan lifestyle is all about. It's not, again, a restrictive or extreme practice, extreme way of living or lifestyle. It is just what we are supposed to be since the human species blessed this earth. We're supposed to be kind to all beings. We're supposed to be not to dominate, but to help all beings. We're supposed to be kings and queens on this world, each one of us, no exception. The animal people should be happy to be around us, not to be afraid of us, as they are currently. We should not hunt them. We should not fish them. We should not eat them. We should not use them for clothes, not for our entertainment. They are what they are because that's what they are. Because they are beings of light, of divine light, of divine. They are compassionate and kind themselves, and they do not understand us. And that's very sad because, yeah, if we are supposed to be kings and queens, maybe we should ask ourselves: um, is that what really um, happened? Maybe in the beginning of time, maybe the time when we arrived in this on this planet, or we doesn't matter how, when, where. Um, when we became human, advanced to the human stage. Maybe, I mean, in the beginning, like all, most probably were vegan. Um, yeah, and maybe of course, we protected ourselves. Okay, that's something different. There's difference between protection, defending ourselves, our community, and harming others deliberately. But yeah, over time, this ideal got dumped away somehow. God only knows how, why, and it snowballed into something that it is to what it is today. To to what we do today is not very compassionate. It's not very kind. Um, Not that people are not kind, but it's like it's society, it's culture, and we accept society's norms without questioning them, and that's a big issue. When that values of society is all about harm and violence, and we ourselves accept it, then we are influenced by it. Our heart is influenced by it, but our heart doesn't know why, how. Until we are told it, we are not even aware of it. Many of us are not aware of it until we are told those truths. Um, yeah, and it's also not dogmatic. It's pure kindness. It's not that it is a belief. It's not a religion. It's not that one thou shalt be vegan, or it's just pure kindness, kindness of the heart, opening our heart to compassion. That's what the vegan lifestyle is all about. Substitute any word you want, any word that we wish for vegan. That's okay. Nobody cares. Um, you can call it universal compassion or true compassion. I follow the true compassion way. I follow maybe supreme kindness. Um, I eat supreme kindness. And it's nice. Yeah, yeah. We can change our perceptions of things, of what veganism is really about, from something that is that restricts us because we cannot eat dead meat, dead flesh, the secretion of animals. Well, that is not supposed to be food in the first place. So yeah, but through, because we have cooking, because we can cook food, then then like meat becomes eatable. Otherwise, it's not eatable. And yeah, I'm not saying that cooking is an issue as long as it is plant-based, but yeah, okay, that's another aspect, what we are supposed to eat or not. Like even some plant-based, we cannot eat without cooking. So is cooking really natural? But as long as it's plant-based, it is fine. There's no harm in it. But yeah, like animals, well, we cannot eat like raw animals, like cut their flesh and eat them. We do not crave them. I mean, some people may force themselves into it, like because believing that that is somehow healthy, but it is kind of disgusting when we see animals maybe on the road dead. We do not crave their flesh. Carnivores do, but we do not. We cannot. We cannot. Most of us cannot just kill and then eat what we kill. So there is one video that I shared, I think a couple of or sometimes ago in some session. It's on my channel in my sustainability and veganism playlist. It's a wonderful like mini movies from the makers of I Could Never Go Vegan. And there we see it's really wonderful, wonderful acting also. Like a lovely couple, a man and a woman sitting in a restaurant, and like they are very much in love one with the other. Then they want to order, and they order like they see like the lady, she wants proteins, lots of proteins, and she looks at the menu and she see like chicken wings, I believe. And then okay, so the server comes and asks them what they wish, and they say chicken wings, and then he asks, "Will you share it between you two?" No, and then they say no, one each. Okay, and they are still very happy and smiling and everything. And then the server brings them the plate, and then he opens it, and what do they see? They see a live chicken. And then another server comes with the knife, and then yeah, and then like they are both shocked, and it's like they do not believe what's happening. Like what? And yeah, so the server explains that yeah, this is a place where they serve the freshest. So it doesn't know if it is the best, but it's certainly the freshest meat ever. And yeah, so they were supposed to uh, to to kill the chicken and eat the wing maybe after cooking. And then yeah, then the servers brought many plates for as many wings as they wished for. And yeah, they were completely shocked and didn't know what's happening. Probably never returned to that restaurant. But yeah, then the movie ended. But it's a wonderful movie. And then it asks, like, would you be able to kill the chicken yourself, or something like that? And most of us couldn't. Some could maybe, but like 99.999% couldn't do it. And yeah, we should ask ourselves then, if we cannot do it ourselves, then why do we let others do it for us? So kindness and compassion does not end with what we do directly, what we see directly with our own eyes and hear with our own ears, but what others do for us in our name. and that is a very, very important, even more important than what we do directly, because we kind of let others do the dirty job that we do not wish to do, and then we like enjoy the result, one could say. Don't know if it's enjoying, but that's what we believe we do. But yeah, then other people have to kill, have to have a lot of violent thoughts, and other people suffer for so many reasons. And of course, I mean, the most importantly, the animal people, they suffer the most from terrible conditions, terrible death, terrible life. So yeah, it is something that we should, I believe, ponder about, reflect about very, very, very deeply, and understand how can we start being happy. First move is we begin by removing anything that is violent from our life. We remove violence. We do things that reflect our deepest ethics and values, because we all want to be kind and compassionate. That is for certain. Um, but we don't necessarily know how to do it. And being kind to all beings is could be said as the first and last step. It's the most amazing feeling that we do not contribute to harm. That everything that we do is kind and compassionate, without exception. Um, but then we are free, like birds. One could say we could fly like birds. Um, Otherwise, we are. It's like our ethics values are in a cage. One can compare that, and yeah, they want to be free, so we need to open the cage, so that because ethics and compassion, they don't like to be in cage. They want to be free, like birds. So we need to open the cage of violence and unkindness to let our kind heart flourish. Um, yes, so we have peace of mind, so we do not have any more inner conflict. So yeah, many people can carry these subtle feelings of discomfort, but they don't know why. A general tension that exists in us, like a very deep sadness, and that's sadness can come from many different places, but a very, very big one is the dissonance between loving animals and eating them, or their secretion, and between caring about suffering, so to like end suffering, and then participating in it, knowingly or unknowingly. So peace is simply living honestly. It's the relief that we are no longer part of this mass unkind, uncompassionate um, values of society as a whole. Most people eat animals and their secretion. Doesn't mean it's right. It's just a habit, a very, very deeply ingrained um, bad habit. But all habits can be changed. And then we don't feel any more guilt on the plate. So every meal becomes like a peaceful moment, free from all hidden harm. And we don't need to give an excuse why we do it. It's just that we follow our integrity, our own kind heart, and we do things unapologetically, um, and there are no contradiction anymore in our heart. So our heart and action, they finally move in the same direction. Until one doesn't understand that, until there is blood in our food, um, there cannot be true peace in our own heart, because we are always in conflict, that we know it or not, unknowingly it is there. Because, when there is violence in our plates, how could it not affect us? The energy, it doesn't matter if we believe in energy or not. I mean, it's like what it represents, even if one doesn't believe in energies. When we ingest violence and sadness and terror and abuse, what good can it come to us? Even if we laugh in tables, we do not really laugh. It's like we should really reflect upon that. It doesn't matter if it is meat, also same thing with dairy and cheese. When we enjoy those, same thing. Those come from an unbelievable place of suffering, of again abuse, torture, for wonderful, peaceful, kind beings, the kindest there is on the planet, and but we ingest that like with a smile. We um, we believe that is the best thing in the world. Uh, but if we deeply understand what it really is behind the scene, we cannot drink milk anymore, we cannot eat cheese anymore, or eggs or honey, if we know where it comes from. When we know that it comes from a place of abuse and of dominations of humans over other species, we cannot participate in it, and we don't want to, most importantly. It's no longer a question of I have to, but I want to. I don't have to be vegan. I want to be vegan. And that's a wonderful mind shift that I learned from a wonderful lady called Lisa Raimondi of Raw Food Romance. And it applies in different places. Like, for example, in this case also, in a different aspect. So really wanting to do something rather than having to do it. That's also good for habits, like habit changing. So not having to do something, but wanting to do something, to change the mind shift, the mindset from from obligation to want, to desire, to wish. And if one understands the ethics behind it, behind the vegan lifestyle, there's no more question of wanting to. Well, want to uh, one will want to be more peaceful and happy for the animals and for ourselves. So to move the heart and action in the same direction. So compassion expands the heart. So something remarkable happens when the compassion includes all beings, not just some. Then the heart expands basically. Empathy grows. Like a plant reaching toward the light. So many things fall into place automatically, one could say, without even trying to. When one is vegan for the animals, something magical happens. It's our heart starts to blossom automatically. We will be kinder to all beings. We'll be very, very careful where we walk, how we talk also with not only with humans but also with animals, with our pets, even with wild animals. Um, I very much like to talk with birds in the morning, so I will go to give them some lovely food, and they are very excited to see me. They are like flying all around, and then I talk to them with gentleness and kindness, and they respond. They know it. And I gave them names, and when I say one pigeon names, and he starts to be like excited, and somehow he understood or she understood that I'm referring to her or to him. And yeah, so that's what compassion does to the heart. It makes us more gentle. We may believe that we are already compassionate and gentle, but that is the next step. For the moment, it is somehow this compassion is hidden until we really understand that we should be compassionate to all beings, and that not contribute to violence both directly and indirectly. Most importantly, indirectly. When we go to see a meat in the supermarket, we should understand where it comes from. Really, it's not just a piece of meat or milk or cheese. It is, if one would see energies, it would be absolutely terrible. But yeah, so veganism is like a training ground that train the heart to love without conditions. So removing all the arbitrary lines that we've been taught to draw between us and others. Also, why do we love dogs, but we eat pigs and cows? There's no reason. There's no difference between dogs and cows and pigs. That's a completely arbitrary line that humanity has drawn, and differently in different part of the world. Some part of the world they do eat dogs, and then those who do not eat dogs they are shocked. But it's not different than us eating pigs and cows. So it's just a matter of understanding that there's no one species above others, be it humans or any species of animals. Dogs are not special in any way. No more special than pigs or cows or rabbits or any of the other wonderful species. The fact that we domesticated, so to speak, some species like cows and I mean cows also some places, but also dogs and cats is it's just an arbitrary line because especially I mean dogs are very loving creatures, and so we love them also, and they are like dogs are like they say that they are like people's best friends, which is true. But all animals are people's best friends if we really open our heart and open our mind and eyes. And then we become much more loving. We become, our heart unfolds, one could say. And we see how much love we have for all beings. And yeah, every time that we do something compassionate, our heart continues to grow, basically. and we should water this heart every day with compassion and kindness. And yes, so we have a very peaceful relationship with the world when we are following the vegan lifestyle. Um, so when we contribute to violence, even hidden, as we said, even in the the indirect violence, when it's normalized, it leaves traces in us. It accumulates in a way that we are not even aware of, that we do not acknowledge. It's like a quiet heaviness, something tension in us, something disconnected from our gentle nature, and which is not natural. And by undoing this, by like going, um, then we do like the opposite. We start, as we said, to grow our heart, to grow compassion and kindness in our heart. So we become connected instead of disconnected from our gentle nature. So the connection to our inner divine nature increases by infinite fold, and we expand our consciousness basically. That's what also spirituality and meditation is also about, is to expand our consciousness from this body, from this mind to all beings, to all minds, to become one with the universe, one could say. And becoming one with the universe is becoming one with all beings, animals included, and to feel their pain as our pain, feel their joy and happiness as our joy and happiness. When the animals are happy, we are happy. When they are sad, we are sad. Um, yeah. So yeah, there is a lot of like unexpected gifts when we choose non-violence. Everything calms down. Our emotional betterment becomes better. Um, Gentler thoughts toward all beings, also very important. And then our nervous systems also calms down, because we don't have anymore. We don't need to carry this cognitive dissonance, um, which we have until we understand um, what's really happening in this world. And then yeah, peace follows basically, and peace outside begins with peace inside. Um, if we see violent humans, it means they are violent also inside them. They don't have peace inside them. If we see humans that wants to dominate all, then again they do not have peace inside. They only want to dominate, and constantly searching for. They are searching for this peace, but they cannot find it, and maybe they do not understand why. And it's because of this dissonance, this cognitive dissonance between what one needs to do, should do, must do, and what one actually does. Um, so we should stop then participating both in harm that we do see, that we do witness, and those that we don't witness. And there's something that shifts in us when that happens, and then our relationship with the world becomes lighter, clearer, and more honest. Unequivocally, that is the case. So yeah, so going vegan again, it changes us. It changes our hearts, very, very, in a very powerful way, very strong way. Again, especially when we do it for ethical reasons. I mean, when we understand the ethical, when we do it for kindness, basically kindness reason, compassionate reason. Other reasons are fine, of course, But it's only once we've developed this kindness and compassion that we know definitely there is no going back. If one truly understood that, what really this is about, then there's no going back, and that's a good thing. Um, then one can never stop being kind, and one doesn't want to participate into violence anymore. It is one could say one's past, and all of us can change. There's a saying, like every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. I'm not sure who initially said that, but it's very true. We can all change from moment to moment, from instant to instant. A person can decide to become very kind to all beings in one instant, just saying, "Oh, I'm going now to be kind and compassionate to all beings," maybe going vegan. That can happen in one instant. It just click, and then it's like the light switches on, and one just understand it deeply, and then one just cannot participate in anymore. Usually that comes from watching some documentaries and understanding it deeply. Sometimes watching quite hard to watch documentaries that may not be easy to watch, but then one really understand it better. So there are many such documentaries, not many, but like Earthlings, Dominion, and others. But one doesn't need even to watch those if one really understands this logically. Then from the heart, and that's it. It's no longer something that we must do. It's something that we want to do. And yeah, so there's a joy in simplicity. It's like a kind of minimalism. We enjoy fresh food, simple, unprocessed and whole food, like a lot of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds in their natural shell. And there's a lot of natural flavors that are amazing. A lot of herbs. There's also following the season is wonderful. So like eating the fruits and the vegetables of the season that connects us to the earth of natural cycles. And yeah, so it reconnects us also with the joy of simple living, basically. A joy without going to excess, not unprocessed as much. Some may believe that animals' food is like unprocessed. That is maybe wishful thinking. It's probably the most processed food on the planet. First because this meat that we eat came from somewhere, and so there was an animal that it was the muscles of the animal that had to be grown. I mean, that grew up, and then from food, and then it's a very complicated food, animal food, and then we need to also cook it because we cannot just eat it raw. We cannot. It's not like a fruit that we can eat. Beautiful, vibrant, full of life. But meat is. We need to do a lot of modification to it. Plus, all the animals receive so many antibiotics, so much even vitamins because they do not receive it from outside anymore. They're injected with so many hormones. And that's what we eat or drink through their secretion or their meat. So, and fish contain so many chemicals, um, and toxic elements from the sea, especially nowadays. So there's nothing unprocessed about meat. It's fully, it's the most processed, uh, so-called food, but it's not food, but food of the world. But if we eat fresh food, like fruits, for example, it's amazing. It's nature's candies. We don't eat enough of those. Because we have so many temptations of different types of food that excites our palates, like candies, chocolates, processed food. Nothing wrong with that, but we we let go of fruits, for example, and fruits are very important to eat daily, a lot of it. That's what makes us really healthy. And we have a lot of different food for that. So it's very satisfying. So it really nourishes us without harm. And that's the most beautiful thing, is to nourish our bodies, our heart, mind, without knowing that we did not hurt any being. And that's the most beautiful sensation in the world. Then we can really eat with, can really enjoy it. We can really laugh at the table with other people or with ourselves. Because it's true compassion, true kindness. We don't contribute to violence. And if one can go vegan also step by step, if going all in is too much, then maybe cut meat one week, then fish the other week, and then dairy, and then cheese, then butter, then honey, then eggs, and then that's it. Maybe each time one cuts some type of food, maybe one can watch some documentaries that are related to that, not to understand the reason why we should stop. Maybe why dairy is not good for us, why cheese is terrible, why eggs are come from abuse, what's wrong with honey. So we should educate ourselves and to know the reasons for avoiding those, and know that they all come from a place of violence, and we do not wish to be part of it anymore. That's all. We want to be free. We want our minds to be free. And what better way to be free than not causing any harm to any beings, directly or indirectly? Again, most important. Most of us cannot hurt directly, but indirectly we do it every day. And indirectly is maybe even worse than directly, because we make other people do the dirty job for us, basically. So it's a joyful purpose is knowing that our life is reducing suffering everywhere. It brings deep fulfillment and then even transcends ordinary happiness. It's a profound satisfaction to know that we do not that we live for something, that we have like a purpose, and the purpose is to be kind. That's a wonderful purpose to all beings. And we sense that we are contributing with every meal, every choice, every day, that we are doing less harm. We are really creating change in this world. Like there's a wonderful quote by Mahatma Gandhi. He said, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." And we want the world to be kinder and compassionate. So we start with ourselves instead of shouting everywhere to be kind and compassionate, but then we ourselves contributing to violence knowingly or unknowingly, then it's not very helpful. It's not very, or it's not very effective. It's only effective if we do what we say. If we do not do what we say, then our words are basically empty. So if we want kindness and compassion and peace in this world, then we must start with ourselves. There's no other way. And yeah, so it's like a daily practice basically, that we live by compassion, by the ethics of, by the rules of kindness. Maybe if there is one single rule of the vegan religion, would be thou shalt be kind to all living beings. That's the only rule that we need, really. From that rules, everything else falls in place. When you think about it, all the commandments and rules, like thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not tell lies, and all this. Well, if you replace that with thou shalt be kind to all living beings, then if you are kind, then we will not steal from anyone. We will also not lie to anyone. We will not be violent to anyone. So basically, all the commandments stem from this one single commandment, one single rule. It's not a commandment, but thou shalt be kind. No need for anything else. And yeah, so it's a hope for kinder world. As we said, being this change that we wish to see in the world, knowing that our actions ripples outwards and bring peace and purpose to our life and to other people also, especially to our close beings, to our family members and co-workers. They are influenced by whatever we do, for sure. So we should be the example ourselves and not wait for some beings coming out of the sky and telling us what to do. That is just instead of waiting for that being to come from the sky, just do what that being coming from the sky would tell us. Be kind. Is it that hard? Yeah, so purpose is a very important source of joy, and the vegan lifestyle offer that at least 3 times a day, every single day. I mean, depends, okay, how many meals we have, but every time we eat a vegan meal, then we know that we do not contribute to violence, and our heart can rest in that knowledge. And then we know that we are becoming someone who chooses compassion when it would be so much easy not to. It's easy to go to any restaurant and eat whatever they offer. But being vegan is more with purpose. We choose only what is kind and compassionate. We don't just we don't do anything. We do things with purpose, with respect, with self-respect also. So yeah, so kindness is contagious. It speaks quietly. When we are kind to other beings, then people notice. Not because even we are preaching, not because we are telling everybody about it, but okay, we can. I mean, it's not. It's a good thing to tell, but it's not because of that. It's just because we embody what we say, basically, without any force, without pressure, just without trying to judge anyone. That's not the purpose of it all. It just become like a quiet energy center, or quiet. Yeah, it's an invitation to consider something different. Um, yeah, so it's like extending our kindness to all, including our immediate environments, and seeing that our choices are very important, whatever choice we make. And yes, so when we are aligned in our hearts, then we feel like an inner joy. When everything matches, when the thoughts, our values, and our actions they match, that's wonderful. So thoughts, of course, are very important. So then from thoughts it's like we have our values, and then from values we have our actions. We make our actions from what we believe in, what our heart believes in, what our thoughts believe in, what we the things that we say to ourselves should be very compassionate too. And when that happens, then something extraordinary happens when all of those are aligned. Then many things start to happen, like stress decreases, because we are no longer needing to manage contradictions in all of those. Everything is aligned with integrity. So, but of course, the vegan lifestyle is not about perfection. Perfection. It's about doing what we can as much as possible, to be compassionate as much as we can. There's no perfect vegan. There will probably never be. That doesn't mean we cannot do our best to follow those principles. And yeah, for example, when we eat, we of course we eat vegan. I mean, 100% as much as possible. But yeah, maybe sometimes we, without knowing, we eat something that contains whatever contains something coming from animal agriculture, and then we should not beat ourselves up. It just this is the world. So we are not living in a vegan world. So we do our best, but there are many things that we are not aware of, and many many food, like say, like even if they say vegan, they will say may contain traces of. Then it could be whatever, like milk or eggs, especially because in the places where they prepare those food, they are not following a plant-based or vegan lifestyle themselves. So they do prepare vegan meals, but there could be cross-contamination. And okay, we cannot do much about it. So some may accept it and accept those products. Most vegans accept those, and that is perfectly fine. Yeah, so there could be traces of milk and eggs, not because they put explicitly, but because of cross-contamination. Like some particles fly here and there, or the hands were not washed, or whatever. So in that sense, we cannot be perfect. Also, when we walk, sometimes we can hurt small insects unknowingly. We try to avoid it, but maybe it's not always possible 100%. That's why veganism is an ideal. We can 100% follow this ideal, but at the same time we cannot be 100% like doing it like being a perfect vegan. That's not possible, and that's not the goal. As I said, yeah, it's about direction, and it's about willpower, and what we choose and not choose to do. And but the things that we do not have control of, well, we do not have control of. Can't do much about it. So it's a life rooted in love, in true love. Yes, it's a daily choice to say yes to kindness over cruelty, to peace over violence, to a joy rooted in compassion. It's a choice that we make for the animals, especially, also for humans, not only for animals, but principally for animal people whose life matter, uh, and that we do not believe ourselves to be higher than them, greater than them, that we dominate them, that human species is the best of the best and the highest and very egoistic. No, we believe that animals have as much right to live in this planet peacefully and freely as humans. And yeah, and for the planet also, so which deserves our care. We do it for ourselves, and we deserve to live with integrity. And then we do it for a gentler future. Um, yeah, one meal at a time, one choice at a time, one heart at a time. And that's very important. If we want to have peace in this world, it starts with what we put in our mouth. So peace starts with our mouth, with whatever we put in it. Especially, not only, but especially. And yeah, so we can choose kindness. So here are some like affirmations that one can say. I choose kindness. I choose peace. I choose joy. Um, Extending our compassion to all beings without exception. When you think about it, it's such a wonderful thing, no, isn't it? Um, to extend our heart to all hearts, to see that our heart beats the same way as all hearts, from the smallest insects to the biggest animal species. We are all one. Um, we all feel pain. If we are hurt, we all feel happiness when good things happens. We all feel. Um, we all have families, and we all want to live a happy and joyful life. As such, we need to let others live their life, like live and let live. But in a true understanding, sometimes this is misunderstood. Live and let live is like I can do whatever I wish. So, like hurting animals, that is my wish. No, that is nonsense. Live and let live means we let all beings, not only humans, but all beings, very important to understand, to extend our concept of all to of live and let live to all beings and not only humans. When that will happen, when the world will become more compassionate and kind, then this world will become heaven. And that will happen. I pray, I wish, I hope. But it will only come if each one of us opens our hearts. It cannot happen otherwise. To stop wars outside, we need to stop wars inside. We need to stop all wars. We are kind of at war with nature. Um, and and yeah, so we need to make peace with the planet, make peace with our own heart, and to accept that we are not perfect, we that we are trying to do good, to be good, to be one, and to make changes to make it happen. And we can become the most kind, compassionate, loving, peaceful species ever. And again, when that will happen, heaven will come to this earth. Will not, and this earth may become one of the heavenly realm, maybe sometimes in the future. But this will only come if we all, each one of us expand our hearts and to include all beings. And one of the best way is to follow the so-called vegan lifestyle. I say so-called because it's just a word, but this word is very powerful and very meaningful. So it's not just a word. It embodies compassion and kindness. So yeah, let's make this world heaven. Yeah, thank you. I hope this presentation was interesting and helpful. I know I repeated myself quite a couple of times. I try to do it in different ways, make it a bit more interesting, but still the message is always the same. And the message is be good, do good, be one. And that's the root of all religions, of all spiritual practices. Be kind. Thou shalt be kind. Maybe if you retain one thing from this presentation is that single commandment, and replace all the commandments with just that. So thank you, and let's go to our practice of the morning. Okay, one moment. Okay, so let's start. As always, we will do the same kind of practices as every single day that we did. We modified here and there some things to make it a bit more interesting and maybe advance a little bit. But the idea of what is presented here is sorry, is that it's like a practice that you can get inspired by in order for your own practice. So it's good to have something like a repetition, like a ritual, very specific steps. And those are quite logical steps of practicing. So this comes from the Himalayan tradition, which is a wonderful way of practicing, and very logical, very systematic. Of course, there's a lot more than what we do here, but what we do here is like the kind of blueprint that one can use for one's own practice. And this is not necessarily the one that is done by everyone. This is one that that is, I believe, quite logical and helpful. So we start with prayer, then we move to gratitude, then we move to physical exercise and relaxation, pranayama, then self-dialogue, and then meditation. So this is what the self-dialogue. I mean, there are many parts of it that are recommended in that tradition as a sequence, especially to do the self-dialogue before meditation, in order to let the mind unwind and be able to meditate better, more effectively, one could say. So yeah, and starting with prayer is a wonderful thing. Again, it can be either pre-made like we do now, or one that we do like we pray from our hearts. We say whatever we want to say. That's also okay. So let's start. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will show gratitude for my many blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to all living beings. May today be a joyful, peaceful, blissful, and magical day. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all living beings, to all humans, to all the animal people, and finally peace to our own self, to our own mind. Om. And let's now move to the gratitude part where we are just grateful and we have gratefulness energy towards all beings, all the material that we have, all teachers and universities, co-workers, families, and food and everything. Just giving thanks. It's a true thanksgiving from the heart, with compassion. So let's do that. Okay, slowly open your eyes. So, um, yeah, maybe before really starting like the physical exercise and all, maybe let's take 5 minutes break. Okay, so let's start the practice. Very simple physical exercise. Just we start with the Sufi roll. So inhale, come forward with the chest, and exhale back. The other way. Come back to center. Then inhale, exhale, curve. Inhale, on to one side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Inhale, center. Exhale, the other side. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, turn a bit more. Inhale, and back to center. Then one hand on the mat. Then the other hands come over. Inhale, the other side. Back to center. Hands on the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. The other way. Come back to center. Make some magic with your fingers, wrists. You can open rapidly your hands. And let's stretch our legs a little bit and our feet. Bring one leg closer to you and turn to that side. The other leg. Now bring your legs in diamond shape, like this, and just fold forward. Do not push. Just use gravity. And slowly come back. Yeah. So basically that concludes the physical aspect of it. Again, it's a very simple practice, but it's also quite effective. And there are other things that one can do, like maybe neck rolls, but it's not for everyone. So whatever you feel like doing, feel free. This is just the concept of doing first a physical exercise and only then moving on to other things so that we can be more stable when we sit for a long time. It's very helpful because we have less pain in our joints when we do that, and that's a good thing. So now after the physical exercise, we do the relaxation like we did now for a couple of sessions. We do the 61 points of relaxation. So we started with 31 points in the 21st session. So now we move to the 61 points. It's just an extension of the 31 points. So we'll do it twice, once together and once by ourselves. So first we will start with a kind of short body scan to calm us down, and then we'll move to the actual practice. So close your eyes. You can do it lying down also. Take a couple of deep breaths without retention from the nose and out of the nose. Now relax your shoulders, relax your arms, your hands, your feet, relax your legs, your hips, relax your back, the neck and throat, abdomen, navel, torso. Relax the back of the head, top of the head, face. Relax your eyebrows, eyes, nose, nostrils. Relax your mouth and your tongue, your chin, your jaw. Relax your ears. Your entire body is fully relaxed. Now let's do the practice. So bring your entire attention to the space between the eyebrows. To the pit of the throat, the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, pit of the throat, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, tip of the left thumb, tip of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back to the left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, pit of the throat, center of the chest, right chest, center of the chest, the left chest, center of the chest, navel, lower abdomen, right hip joint, right knee, right ankle, tip of the right big toe, tip of the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Back to the right ankle, right knee, right hip joint, lower abdomen, left hip joint, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, tip of the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Back to the left ankle, left knee, left hip joint, lower abdomen, navel, center of the chest, bit of the throat, and space between the eyebrows. And relax. And now let's do it once on our own, starting now. And slowly open your eyes. So now after relaxation, we do pranayama. So we are going to do like every day, we do 3 practices, starting with breath control, awareness, where we do like a 1-1 breathing and 1-2 breathing. So breathe in for some seconds, breathe out for the same seconds, or twice, exhale twice longer than inhalation. So we're going to start with inhalation for 4 seconds and exhalation for 4 seconds. If that is too much, go 3-3 or 2-2. And most important is the quality of the breath. So this is a controlled breath. So we do inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, more or less. But the breath should be very smooth, very silent, except if we have a blocked nose, of course. Um, it should be diaphragmatic. Um, yeah, it should be without pauses. At least extended pauses between the inhalation exhalation and exhalation inhalation, and from the nose, not from the mouth. It should be very relaxed. Um, and yeah, so that's it. That's just a way to calm the nervous system down. So let's do that for a couple of minutes. Inhale 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. And slowly open your eyes. Now we're going to do the same, but inhale 4 and exhale for 8. If that is too much, do a 3-6 or a 2-4. Same qualities of breath again, and yeah, so let's do that. and slowly come out. So now we move to Nadishodanam, alternate nostril breathing, Anuloma Viloma. So it's bend your index and middle finger, use your ring and your thumb and your ring to block the nose, the nostrils. And yeah, so we breathe in a certain pattern. We also try to make it diaphragmatic, very important. Everything relaxed, very smooth. We will do it same inhalation exhalation count. And yeah, so without pauses also. So the pattern, this is what is called the third pattern. We saw already the two first one before. And the third one is when we close, imagine the right, then is exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So 6 inhalation, 6 inhalation, 6 exhalation, 6 inhalation for each in each round. That's one round. We can do 3 of them, and each time starting with the other nose. We can make a little bit, take some pauses in between, and yeah, the idea is to balance the left and the right energies. There's just a bit more to it, but for now let's leave that and just let's do the practice. So inhale, exhale, inhale to start. Look right, exhale from left. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, switch, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and relax. Now let's do 3 rounds of those on our own. You do it at your own pace, do not need to follow me. Just make sure there's no pauses. Avoid pauses, make it as natural as possible, as smooth as possible. Yeah, and you can take rest between the rounds. So let's start. So let's do now the last practice, pranayama practice, which is the primary or humming bee. So we just inhale, we close the mouth, and then we just hum the like. That is very calming to the nervous system. It stimulates nitric oxide in the nose canal, which goes to the lungs and expand the vessels, which is very good. So there are many benefits to that simple practice. And yeah, so let's do that. We do it at our own pace. Do not follow me. And yeah, make the tone as high or low as you wish. And yeah, and let's do that. And let's go. So that was our pranayama part of the practice. Now we move to the self-dialogue. As always, I will give an overview, but most probably not as complete as from the previous times. Just rapid overview. So self-dialogue is talking with ourselves, with our own mind in a constructive and positive way. And that's basically it. There are many ways of doing that. Some, like one is prayer. To pray is a type of self-dialogue. Can be either pre-made or own-made. Own-made may be better, but pre-made is fine. It's just to pray from the heart for whatever we wish. Yeah. And other type is gratitude. So just do gratefulness practice like we do every day, every morning. That's a self-dialogue. We can also do affirmations. It's also a type of self-dialogue. There are many affirmations that You can find books on it online, like positive ones, of course. Um, then there is also metta, the so-called metta meditation. Metta means love. It's Buddhist style practice that is a wonderful practice. Not necessarily easy, but quite interesting, where we expand our hearts to include all beings. That's the idea. So it's like it's not necessarily this, like the way I describe is one way. There are many, maybe other ways. I'm not sure that in the official one, I don't know if there is an official one, but there is like compassion to all living beings, not only humans. I think mostly when we hear about metta meditation, it's discusses about humans, open our hearts to all humans, but it's a good idea probably to also include all living beings, not only humans. I'm not an expert in it, so I don't really know more than that except the basics. So what an idea could be, so first to wish well, to wish happiness and peace to all beings, all living beings, to nature, to all animal people, to all the humans, and yeah, to all the insects, sky animal, ocean animal, and land animals. So that would be the first step. Second step would be to wish well to all those that are close to us. Especially the humans, but it could also be the pets or pets, dogs, cats. So we wish them well, to be happy and joyful and peaceful, like like in Star Trek, like the Vulcans, they say, live long and prosper. And yeah, to have good wishes. Then the second one is to same thing, but for those that we. So first one is for our close friends, families. Second one is for those that are neutral, so we don't know them or not much, like supermarket cashiers, for example, or people we meet in the street, or even colleagues which we do not interact with. We wish them well, in the exact same way. And finally, we wish well to all those that we have difficult time with. And yeah, it doesn't need to be mortal enemies. It can be just people who may be difficult, we have difficult relation with. Maybe we don't feel comfortable with. Let's say it that way. So then we wish them well, and we wish them happiness in the exact same way, and with the exact same feelings. So really, we really do wish them well, even though it may be very hard. It's wonderful because it expands our hearts to see beyond these conflicts that we have and see them as superficial. And and then even to our so-called enemies, wishing them well is a wonderful feelings of seeing beyond the current situation and whatever happening, that we are all one, and ultimately doesn't mean that we cannot defend ourselves, but that ultimately in our hearts we are all one, and we wish for the same thing. We wish for happiness for our families, And that's a common trait among all living beings. We all wish to be happy and to live peacefully. And yeah, so that's why it kind of helps us to expand our mind, our hearts, to all beings everywhere. So yeah, so this is the meta meditation. That's also a self dialogue type of practice. So this can be done at that time. Other type is contemplation on higher truths, like can be also mantras, or what are called Mahavakyas. And one of the most important one maybe is who am I? Just pondering about it, who am I is a wonderful self-dialogue. It's one of the goal of spiritual practices is to be able to answer that truthfully, and not through the intellect, but through actual experience. And then answering that is a wonderful thing to ponder once we understand that we are like divine beings. We are not our thoughts. We are not our bodies. Both are extremely important, our bodies and thoughts and mind. We need to take super good care of them, of course. We should not neglect them. Um, yeah, we should take care of ourselves, of our own body and mind. Because it's a gift that we've been received, and it's a very rare gift. And it's a very amazing opportunity while we are in this world to practice practice compassion and kindness. That's part of our spiritual progression, our evolution as both a species and as individuals. And we need this body to do that in the physical world at least. But we are not this body and ultimately or the mind or our thoughts. We are something incredibly subtle, divine, energetic, um, something that we can experience ourselves, especially during meditation. So meditation helps us to expand our consciousness. That's why meditation is a wonderful practice because it covers so many aspects of our being. And yeah, so who am I? Just ponder about it. Um, Maybe we never thought about this question, but it's good to ponder about it. And because it's so hard to think, then we can think the opposite question, who am I not? That is an easier question to actually answer truthfully. Who am I may take some time, but who am I not is easier, at least intellectually. And so that is called contemplation. And then we have self-counseling, which is more about our own goals and motivations in life, our own wants and wishes, our own habits, how to acquire good habits and remove bad habits, how to heal ourselves, and what we really want in life. We all want things. Sometimes we don't want the right things. That's another thing. But deep down, we have some deep longing, a deep longing that maybe we cannot name. Something that we wish for basically happiness, kind of to be always happy. That's a universal wish, to be free and to understand ourselves. And also for this spiritual um, inquiry that we want to understand what's this world all about, what is our life all about, what is our purpose on this planet, on Earth, in existence. We all have a wonderful purpose. No one is devoid of that purpose. Nothing that was created was ever created by chance. So there's a very clear purpose for all of us. It's a wonderful purpose. It's a divine purpose. One could say, doesn't matter if one believes or not in a higher creation. Yeah, for me, I mean, like God or the Lord is an energy, is awareness. It's like an ocean of awareness, ocean of energy, the primordial energy that has created this universe. It's not like a person sitting on a throne. Maybe he or she sometimes appears like that just for our own benefit, just to look like to be able to communicate with us, one could say, because we would not understand it any other way for the moment. But it's energy. It's an amazing, wonderfully peaceful, loving energy, awareness itself, basically, and we are part of it. We are like drops of consciousness, each one of us. And if the ocean is love, true love, then we are also true love, because we are made out of the same material, exact same material, no difference between us and the supreme self, so-called. Maybe we are in a smaller container, but that doesn't mean we are any less than that. Yeah, so that is the self-counseling part, is just to live what do we want deep down, and also how can we heal ourselves, which habits we want, we do not want, and yeah, how can we be more happy, and by doing that, how can we make other people happy? So of course it's not only about ourselves, a lot of it is about others, but it is also about ourselves. We want to be happy and we want others to be happy. Isn't that true? That's kind of the main things. And others, as you probably know by now, I never mean others as other humans, but also others is other beings of this world, of any world. So we wish well to all beings. That's why we have this wonderful mantra that we say every day, and also at the end of the practice. That's the purpose of this mantra, is to expand our heart, our mind. If we truly understand this mantra deeply, then that may be the only mantra that we need. So yeah, and then finally there is friendship with mind. That's kind of another self-dialogue possibility. It's just to befriend the mind, talk with her or with him in a friendly manner, and just chat like a best friend. Of course, the mind will not necessarily respond. I mean, we will not hear voices in our mind, like, but it's kind of the voice of intuition, reason, and yeah, it's talking with our higher self, basically, higher mind self. The Buddhi, what is called the Buddhi, is one of the aspects of the mind, the higher mind that is wise, that represents wisdom. And basically, when we talk with that aspects of the mind, of the subconscious, and that part listens always, and yeah, and it can respond in different ways. It can even heal our bodies if we ask gently and kindly. So yeah, so that's it. So again, I made an introduction to set dialogues, and I think it's a very important part of the practice. It may be often neglected, but it is very much part of the spiritual practice. Because in any case, we always talk. So we might as well talk in a positive and constructive way. But at the same time, it's not the what we say the main practice. The main practice would be meditation. So this self-dialogue should not be too long, and then meditation should be like the main the main meal of the day. Maybe self-dialogue is like the morning meal, and then meditation is the dinner or lunch. So that's why self-dialogue should be part of practice, but not take all of the practice. At the same time, sometimes we have trouble meditating, and in that case, we can replace that practice with contemplation, with self-dialogue. But that is not to become a habit. That's just if we really have trouble meditating because we have a lot of thoughts, and then we can replace that with self-dialogue, but not all the time, just from time to time. So let's do that now we do it for 12 minutes. Self-dialogue for 12 minutes. Let's start now. So you choose the subject and just talk kindly with your mind. Reflect. So now we pass to the meditation. Um, so we'll do again like before. We start with 3 minutes, then 4 minutes, then 6 minutes. Then I think we will end with 9 minutes today. So meditation, in opposite to self-dialogue, is where we try to not follow the thoughts. We can watch them, but not follow them, like clouds this time. So it's a very different practice than self-dialogue. Both are complementary. But yeah, so this is more really concentration, and this will be concentration on the breath. For now, we'll do breath awareness. So we feel the breath in the nostrils, like in the entrance of the nostrils, or on between the nostrils, or on the upper lip, like. Then if wherever we feel the breath, that is our object of concentration. It can also be cold or hot air coming in and out. Can be many other things, but for now, this will be our object of concentration, and we try to really concentrate on that. When the thoughts come, we gently bring our attention back to the breath, to the sensations. And it's a constant to and fro. So we constant. Our mind wanders, and then the mindfulness brings it back, and so on and so forth, until it becomes the mind becomes more focused. And then with time, the thoughts subsides, and we can stay longer without following the thoughts. And yeah, just imagine the thoughts are like clouds, and don't let's not follow them as much as possible. But it's very hard. So yeah, we can have thoughts in meditation, but again, we should not follow them. So to ease that, what we can do is to start meditation with the inhalation exhalation. We count them 1 to 5, and then back to 1. Each inhalation exhalation is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Or we think in when we inhale, out when we exhale. And when we have thoughts that we have hard time to stop, we can think the word thinking. That is like a magical word that will bring us back into focus. And yeah, and again, the breath should be completely natural. Just not a controlled breath. We don't breathe in for X seconds, out for X seconds. No, we let it be. If it's short, it's short. If it's long, it's long. If it's loud, it's loud. If it's silent, it's silent. We don't. It's like watching someone breathe from a distance. And that's one of the main point of that. We are just aware of it. We become, in a way, we start to become aware of the one that is aware of the awareness behind the eyes, the one that looks, and actually become an observer of ourselves. That's also one of the main aspects of it, is to try to distance ourselves from, in a way, from our own being, except we start to be our true being, which is awareness. So we are learning to be aware, basically. We are practicing being aware of awareness itself, one could say, through this awareness being aware of something exterior, like the breath. I don't know if that makes sense or nothing at all. But anyway, let's do this practice now for 3 minutes. Again, try to be very, very stable and comfortable in your position, and just be. So just relax a little bit and prepare for 4 minutes. Same thing. Maybe each time we can try to be a little more focused. That's the idea of starting with like a short duration, is that it's easier to concentrate, and then we can try to be more and more focused. So let's go. 4 minutes. Okay, relax a little bit and prepare for 6 minutes. Okay, let's um, let's start this experiment. So prepare now for 9 minutes, and we will actually do also 12 minutes after the 9 minutes. So to prepare, you can stretch your legs and just feel comfortable. And if that is okay for you, it's enough, then it's okay. No need to go further. But if you wish a bit more challenge, then try it out. Let's start. 9 minutes. So now prepare for the final meditation of 12 minutes. Um, yeah, so this will be our last practice of the morning. To be a bit more challenging, but we can do it. Okay, let's start. So this concludes our session of today. So to recap, this morning we saw how about the vegan lifestyle related to how it aligns with our deepest values, um, and what are the consequences of that, that we are more free. We are, all our kind energy that is inherent into all of our hearts, fully aligned with our actions. Um, we avoid both direct and indirect violence. And most important is indirect because what we direct is very rare, but indirect is very often. So we let others do violence for us through what we eat, what we wear, and this affects us. It cannot be otherwise. So if we want to be free from this, if we want to be have a free heart, um, an open heart, expanding consciousness, expanding heart, then we need to reflect upon that. So thank you, and let's end this with the mantra. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy and free, and may our thoughts, words, and deeds contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om peace to all of nature, peace to all beings, to all humans, to all the animal people, and finally peace to our own self, to our own mind. Om. So thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you for being here, and I hope to see you soon. And bye bye.